Fetal alcohol syndrome disorder is an unfamiliar disease that occurs more often than is diagnosed.
September 9th is FASD Awareness Day, and we figured that we would do our event a week before school just so that the kids were out of school, so that the kids would have the opportunity to actually come out and also learn about this. This is one of the health issues that we're funded for.
Okay.
So these are one of the areas that we need to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I am currently coordinating the assessment clinic for the London region, and so it involves working with a variety of clinicians, including a developmental pediatrician, psychologist, occupational therapist, and speech and language, and we all come together and meet with the child and the family and all of the people who have been previously involved with the supports, and we learn as much as we possibly can about the child and about the impact of prenatal exposure to alcohol and how this relates to this child and this family. So, and then a determination is made and a diagnostic or a diagnosis under the umbrella term fetal alcohol spectrum disorders is made.
I think the three main points are that we're trying to encourage prevention measures, and we're trying to improve diagnostic capabilities, and following diagnosis we would like to see better lifelong supports and services for individuals who are affected and their families. In the London, Elgin, Middlesex, Oxford region, we have developed a network starting in 2009, and so we have network members. There are 13 organizations that belong, some children's mental health organizations, education is involved, and that is a starting point. Most of those organizations are part of the diagnostic coalition and can make referrals to them. About one in 100 individuals across the country are likely affected by fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, and of that, there was a study done in Alberta that identified that 60% of the prison population were affected by FASD.
I've spent some time working in youth justice, and I think the percentage of 60 might be a little bit low, but I think that it really is unfortunate because these kids don't want to be breaking the law. And I gave you the example of sometimes where it's just a little shiny thing at a store or a Pokemon card or somebody not learning from their mistakes, and those repeat crimes that are just hard to understand. It's not that they're really malicious about it or really trying to make a living off of somebody else's stuff. It's just, I see it and I kind of want it, and that impulsivity is there. So
I think the biggest issue with FASD is just maturity. So you have people who relate to the world at a much younger age than their chronological age. So we're trying to improve the supports that they would have over the lifespan to be able to offer them the structure and support that they need. They call it an external brain. So to help them work through some issues, and understand situations, because every day is a new day. So everything that they experience, it's often like the first time that they've experienced it, even if they do it multiple times. So
we're finding too that the earlier kids know and understand that they've got a diagnosis and that this is why this is happening, their outcomes are better, and that's because oftentimes we all need helpers, but these individuals need helpers in certain specific areas to help make better decisions, to be better organized, to be able to live successfully, independently, and remember to brush your teeth. Those kinds of things. They can do it, but they need reminders, and it's not just because they don't want to do it. So it's a paradigm shift in thinking, and from blaming these kids for misbehaving and saying they just won't do it, to they just can't do it that way. That doesn't mean they can't learn, but it means they'll learn differently, and it means that we have to adjust, and we have to support them in ways that will allow for more successful experiences.
We have agencies that represent individuals across the lifespan who may have a diagnosis of FASD, but for service providers whose clients may have the characteristics of someone with FASD, one of the websites says, well, if it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, just treat it like a duck. So you don't have to have a label to use these strategies that we talk about. There are some misinformation out there that the occasional drink, and we don't know. It's safer to say 0 for 9. Absolutely. Actually, you can download a mocktail guide at beststart.ca. There's a lot of resources there, and it's actually recipes for fancy drinks that are non-alcoholic, and it's called Mocktails for Mom. And you know, if you present something in a pretty glass with a piece of fruit in it, feel like you're involved and you're included. Some people don't need that. They don't need that in their hand. They were happy with a glass of juice. But for those of you who want to still be part of the, you know, feel like you're part of the party, sort of, you can make yourself a fancy drink. Throw an umbrella in there and a little stick with a piece of cherry on it, and it's just the same.